Before we get into anything, I want to pray. So everybody can bow their heads, please. Dear God, thank you for allowing us to be here today, Lord. I ask that as I give this message, Lord, that it's not my words, but that it's your words that come out of my mouth, Lord. And I ask that that everyone receive a word, Lord, that not nobody leave the same way that they came in, Lord, that they leave differently, and just move in a mighty and special way today, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. So today, the name of my message is going to be called Untouchable.
Test. Hoy mi mensaje se va a llamar Intocable.
And we're going to talk about Daniel today.
Vamos a hablar sobre la historia de...
So the verse that I want to go to is actually going to be Daniel chapter 6.
Vamos a Daniel capítulo 6.
So we're going to do a little bit of reading today.
Vamos a leer.
You can pull it up on the screen, please. Daniel chapter 6. Isn't God good?
Dios es bueno.
Okay, Daniel chapter 6 verse 1. It says, It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes, which should be over the whole kingdom. And over these 3 presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princess might give accounts unto them, and the king should have no damage. Then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes, because of an excellent spirit was in him, and the king thought to set him over the whole realm. Then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could not find none occasion nor fault. For as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault against him. Then said these men, We shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his God. Then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king, and said thus unto him, King Darius, live forever. All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors and the princes, the counselors and the captains have consulted together to establish a royal statute, and to make a firm decree that whoever shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, he shall be cast unto the den of lions. So they're trying to make it to where no one can pray. Now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing, that it may not be changed according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which altereth not. Wherefore King Darius signed the writing and the decree. So now, no one's allowed to pray according to the king. Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber towards Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day, and prayed and gave thanks before his God, as he did what does that say? Aforetime. Then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his God. Then they came near and spake before the king concerning the king's decree. Hast thou not signed a decree, that every man that shall ask a petition of any god or man within 30 days, save of thee, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions? The king answered and said, The thing is true according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which altereth not. Then answered they and said before the king, That Daniel, which is one of the children of the captivity of Judah, regardeth not thee, O king, nor the decree that thou hast signed, but maketh his petition 3 times a day. Then the king, who he heard these words, was sore displeased with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. And he labored until going down of the sun to deliver him. Then these men assembled unto the king, and said unto the king, Know, O king, that the law of the Medes and Persians is, that no decree nor statute which the king established may be changed. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, Thy God whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. And a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet, and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went to his palace, and passed the night fasting. Neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. Then the king arose very early in the morning, and went in haste unto the den of lions. And whom he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God, whom thou servest continuously, able to deliver thee from the lions? Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever. My God hath sent his angel, and hath shut the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me. For as much as before him innocence was found in me, and also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt. Then was the king exceedingly glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no manner of hurt was found upon him, because he believed in his God. And the king commanded, and they brought those men which had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions, them, their children, and their wives, and the lions that had the mastery of them, and brake all their bones in pieces, wherever they came at the bottom of the den. Then King Darius wrote unto all the people, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, peace be multiplied unto you. I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom men tremble and fear before the God of Daniel, for he is the living God, and steadfast forever, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall be even until the end. He delivereth and rescueth, and he worketh signs and wonders in heaven and in the earth, who hath delivered Daniel from the power of the lions. So this Daniel prospered in the reign of Darius and in the reign of Cyrus the Persian. I know it's kind of long, but sometimes it's good to read.
Dice la escritura en Daniel capítulo 6 versículo 1 al 28.
Pareció bien a Darío construir sobre el reino 120 sátrapas que gobernasen todo el reino, y sobre ellos 3 gobernadores, de los cuales Daniel era uno, a quienes estos sátrapas diesen cuenta para que el reino fuese perjudicado. Pero Daniel mismo era superior a todos los sátrapas y gobernadores, porque había en él un espíritu superior, y el rey pensó en ponerlo sobre todo reino. Entonces los gobernadores y sátrapas buscaron ocasión para acusar a Daniel en lo que relacionado al reino, mas no podían hallar ocasión alguna o falta, porque él era fiel, y ningún vicio ni falta fue hallado en él. Entonces dijeron aquellos hombres: no hallaremos contra este Daniel ocasión alguna para acusarle, si no lo hallamos contra él en relación con la ley de su Dios. Entonces estos gobernadores y sátrapas se juntaron delante del rey y le dijeron así: Rey Darío, para siempre vive. Todos los gobernadores del reino, magistrados, sátrapas y príncipes y capitanes han acordado por el consejo que promulgues un edicto real y lo confirmes, que cualquiera que en el espacio de 30 días demande petición de cualquier dios u hombre fuera de ti, oh rey, sea echado en el foso de los leones. Ahora, oh rey, confirme el edicto y fírmalo, para que no pueda ser revocado, conforme a la ley de Media y de Persia, la cual no puede ser abrogada. Firmó pues el rey Darío y el edicto y la aprobación. Cuando Daniel supo que el edicto había sido firmado, entró en su casa y abierta las ventanas de su cámara que hacían hacia Jerusalén, se arrodillaba 3 veces al día y oraba y daba gracias delante de Dios, como lo solía hacer antes. Entonces se juntaron aquellos hombres y hallaron a Daniel orando y rogando en la presencia de su Dios. Fueron luego ante el rey y le hablaron del edicto real. No has confirmado edicto que cualquiera que en el espacio de 30 días pida a cualquier otro dios o hombre fuera de ti, oh rey, sea echado en el foso de los leones? Respondió el rey diciendo, verdad es, conforme a la ley de Media y de Persia, la cual no pueda ser abrogada. Entonces respondieron y dijeron delante del rey, Daniel, que es de los hijos de los cautivos de Judá, no te respeta a ti, oh rey, ni acata el edicto que confirmaste, sino que 3 veces al día hace su petición. Cuando el rey oyó el asunto, le pesó en gran manera y resolvió librar a Daniel, y hasta la puesta del sol trabajó para librarle. Pero aquellos hombres rodearon al rey y le dijeron, sépase, oh rey, que es la ley de Media y de Persia que ningún edicto o ordenanza que el rey confirme pueda ser abrogado. Entonces el rey mandó y trajeron a Daniel y le echaron en el foso de los leones. Y el rey dijo a Daniel, el Dios tuyo, a quien tú continuamente sirves, él te libre. Y fue traída una piedra y puesta sobre la puerta del foso, la cual selló, y el rey con su anillo y con el anillo de sus príncipes, para que el acuerdo acerca de Daniel no se alterase. Luego el rey se fue a su palacio y se acostó, ayunó, ni un instrumento de música fueron traídos delante de él, y se le fue el sueño. El rey pues se levantó muy de mañana y fue apresuradamente al foso de los leones, y acercándose al foso al foso, llamó a Daniel con voz triste y le dijo, Daniel, siervo del Dios viviente, el Dios tuyo, a quien tú continuamente firmes, ¿te ha podido librar de los leones? Entonces Daniel respondió al rey, oh rey, vive para siempre. Mi Dios envió su ángel, el cual cerró la boca de los leones para que no me hiciesen daño, porque ante él fui hallado inocente, y aún delante de ti, oh rey, no he hecho nada malo. Entonces se alegró el rey en gran manera a causa de él, y mandó sacar a Daniel del foso de los leones. Y fue Daniel sacado del foso, y ninguna lesión se halló en él, porque había confiado en su Dios. Y dio orden el rey, y fueron traídos aquellos hombres que habían acusado a Daniel, y fueron echados al foso de los leones, ellos, sus hijos y sus mujeres. Y aún no había llegado al foso cuando los leones se apoderaron de ellos y quebraron todos sus huesos. Entonces el rey Darío escribió a todos los pueblos, naciones y lenguas que habitasen en toda la tierra, paz os sea multiplicada de parte mía esta puesta y ordenanza, que en todo el dominio de mi reino todos teman y tiemblen ante la presencia del Dios de Daniel, porque él es el Dios viviente y permanece por todos los siglos, y su reino no será jamás destruido, y su dominio perdurará hasta el fin. Él salva y libra, y hace señales y maravillas en el cielo y en la tierra. Él ha librado a Daniel del poder de los leones, y este Daniel prosperó durante el reino de Darío y durante el reino de Ciro de Persia.
Amen. I know it was long, but I wanted everyone to understand the full story of Daniel.
Yo sé que fue largo, pero que deseaba que usted conociera la historia.
That is the reason my message is called Untouchable.
Por eso el mensaje se llama Incomparable, Intocable.
Because I want you to see how God gives you courage to live out your convictions.
Quiero que usted se dé cuenta que por medio de sus convicciones cómo puede vivir.
Because the world is changing very quickly. It's different from how it used to be.
El mundo es diferente.
So we're going to talk about 3 different, points.
Vamos a tocar 3 puntos.
Number 1 is fear and its friends.
Número 1 es el temor y sus amigos.
The fundamentals of courage.
Los fundamentales de how to say courage. Del valor, I'm sorry.
And the focus of faith.
y el enfoque de la fe.
So number one is fear and its friends.
Número 1.
The world we live in right now is a very scary place.
Este mundo en que vivimos está un poco difícil.
There's some times where it might overwhelm us, even as Christians.
A veces se puede descarriar.
Often when our faith and culture collide, fear seizes us.
Cuando nuestra cultura parece decaer, viene el temor.
But there are two types of fear.
Hay dos tipos de temor.
You have your good fear and your bad fear.
Tiene un temor que es bueno y otro malo.
And you're like, how can there be a good fear?
¿Cómo puede haber dos?
Well, the good fear is fearing God.
La buena es al temerle al Señor.
And the good fear has a wonderful protective benefit for us, which is when we fear God, then He's there for us.
Cuando nosotros le tememos al Señor, hay muchas cosas buenas y hay beneficios.
But the bad fear can cause us to shrink where our courage should actually be rising.
Pero cuando hay un miedo que no viene de Dios, entonces esto nos hace decaer.
Okay, so let's break down this story just a little bit.
Vamos a hablar sobre esta historia.
Jealousy and anger.
Cuando el celoso y cuando el enojo.
The two friends of fear.
Son dos amigos de este temor malo.
When you're going against an opponent, right? Who do you try to take out first?
Cuando usted está en una pelea, ¿a quién va a llevar usted para ganar?
Is it the lowest person or the highest ranking person?
¿Le va a pelear usted al que tiene más en una pelea o menos?
It's the highest, right? And that's what those guys saw in Daniel, was that he was the highest person.
Entonces estos varones que vieron a Daniel orando, que querían tomarlo para tumbarlo.
Because King Darius was going to choose him to rule over everything.
Por la razón de que iba a ser llamado para ser juez.
Like whenever you spill some sweet on the floor, how it attracts like bugs and ants and whatnot. That was Daniel. He attracted all this attention, but it wasn't good attention.
Daniel, él era atractivo, era como cuando a usted se le cae algo con azúcar en el suelo y atrae las hormigas.
So sometimes, when people see that we're doing good, sometimes they might get jealous, and then we attract that type of attention sometimes, and it just happens.
Muchas veces cuando alguien está haciendo algo bueno, trae esa atención, pero hay veces que hay unos que son celosos y tratan de decaer a la persona.
Fear leading to frustration.
Ahora, este miedo llevándolo a una frustración.
So first you have your jealousy and your anger, but then now you have frustration.
Antes de ser frustrado, tiene el número 1.
These officials that were next to Daniel, they were afraid of him because of what the king saw in him.
Esos oficiales que estaban trabajando con el... I'm sorry.
I was saying that these guys, the other guys, they were scared of Daniel because of what the king saw in him.
Los oficiales que estaban trabajando con el rey eran celosos porque miraban que el rey estaba mirando algo en Daniel, algo bueno.
And because of that fear, that's what motivated them to come against him.
Porque ellos fueron motivados por medio de ese temor.
And sometimes whenever people see, the God within us, sometimes they're scared, so they're always trying to find something wrong with you, come against you.
Cuando otra persona ve a Dios en nosotros, parece que alguien más está entremetiéndose para destruir eso.
But wait till I get
Porque
to the
son
good part.
celosos.
Just wait till I get to the good part.
Ahora, espérese a que se llegue a lo bueno.
Remember this. Evil can never manufacture enough glue to keep itself together.
Lo malo no puede detenerse en sí mismo.
evil plans have no lasting cohesion, and evil plans will always dissolve.
Y entre sí mismo siempre se va a desvanecer.
There's never a time where, any evil plans can always stick together. It has to come apart.
Esto siempre va a decaer y no puede permanecer.
So first of all, you have jealousy and anger, and then fear from these people against Daniel.
Entonces otra vez, cuando el hombre es celoso y tiene estas cualidades para tratar de caer a otra persona.
Okay, so now then let's look at Daniel.
Vamos a ver ahora el lado de Daniel.
So number 2 is the fundamentals of courage.
Número 2 es las características de valor. I'm sorry, yes.
Some of you might ask, where does courage come from, or how can I get it?
¿Dónde viene este valor? ¿Dónde lo puedo tomar?
I'm about to tell you in a minute.
Ahora le voy a decir en un minuto.
Now, some people are born differently. Some people are actually born, courageous, or they're, how do I explain it? Some people are shyer than others, I guess, or some people don't have that courage that others have.
Muchos son nacidos de un modo, a lo mejor sí tienen mucho valor y hay muchos que son un poco más avergonzosos.
So it might take longer for someone to develop it more than someone else.
Algunos se les lleva un poco más tiempo para crecer en estas áreas.
But with God, it's okay. You'll have it. You'll get it.
Pero no se apure porque con Dios todo lo podemos.
So let's look at Daniel's prayer.
Vamos a ver la oración de este varón, de Daniel.
Let's look at Daniel's spirit.
O el espíritu de Daniel.
You don't have to go to it, but in Daniel 6, verse 3,
En
it
Daniel
says,
6:3,
it says, "Then this Daniel became distinguished above all the other high officials and satraps, and because an excellent spirit was in him."
Pero Daniel mismo era superior a estos sátrapas y gobernadores, porque había en él un espíritu superior, y el rey pensó en ponerlo sobre todo reino.
Right away, coming just from that, you already knew something was special about him.
ya nomás leyendo esta partecita usted se da cuenta que hay algo especial de él.
The reason the king saw something special about Daniel was because he had the spirit of God in him.
La razón que él vio algo especial en Daniel porque tenía el espíritu de Dios.
Something that the others didn't have. That's why they try to come against him.
Algo que los otros no tenían, por eso ellos trataban de pelear contra él.
And then let's talk about Daniel's integrity.
Vamos a ver la integridad de Daniel.
In the next verse over, verse 4, it says, "They could find no ground for complaint or any fault because he was faithful, and no error or fault was found in him."
Entonces los gobernadores y los sátrapas buscaron ocasión para acusar a Daniel en lo relacionado al reino, mas no podía hallar ocasión alguna o falta, porque él era fiel y ningún vicio ni falta fue hallado en él.
Daniel was a pure and honest man.
Daniel era honesto y era limpio.
And then in 5 it says, "We will never find any basis for charges against this man Daniel unless it has something to do with the law of his God."
Entonces dijeron aquellos hombres: no hallaremos contra este Daniel ocasión alguna para acusarle, si no hallamos contra él en relación con la ley de su Dios.
So they couldn't find nothing wrong with him, so they had to use what he believed in, to try to use what he believed in against him.
Ellos no pudieron contra ellos, entonces trataron de atraparlo para usar lo que él creía contra él mismo.
Let's look at Daniel's discipline.
Vamos a ver la disciplina de Daniel.
Daniel was a man of prayer. He always prayed.
Él era un hombre de valor y oraba.
He had a constant and consistent habit of prayer.
Siempre era constante en la oración.
Honestly, he probably put most of us to shame. to be honest.
Para decirles la verdad, yo creo hasta nos avergüenza a nosotros.
Imagine walking by his house and all you hear every day, was just praying and praying and praying. That's what he did.
Se puede imaginar caminando a un lado de su casa y siempre oyéndolo orar.
Prayer is a sign of trust.
La oración es una señal de how to say trust? De confianza.
It's a sign of trust, and when you show that you have that sign of trust in God, then that just shows that you trust Him to take over your life.
Entonces, por medio de la oración, usted encuentra la confianza y puede simplemente confiar en
And
Dios.
that it shows that that He has control of everything in your life.
Y eso enseña que pues él tiene todo el control en su vida.
So they signed this thing saying that you can't pray, you're not allowed to pray for 30 days, but with Daniel, that doesn't stop him.
Después de esta orden de no poder orar, esto no lo detiene a él.
Let's look at Daniel's defiance.
Vamos a ver la definición de Daniel.
Yeah, so like I said, so King Darius issues this decree that you cannot pray for 30 days.
La ley ahora que escribe el rey es que no puedes orar más de 3
And
días.
then you look at his reaction. You look at Daniel's reaction towards that.
Vamos a ver la reacción de Daniel.
So on verse 10, like we read a while ago, it says, when Daniel knew that the document had been signed, he went to his house where he had windows in his upper chamber open towards Jerusalem. Not closed, he had it open. And he got down on his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God as he had done previously. Nothing changed.
Cuando Daniel supo que el edicto había sido firmado, entró en su casa y abiertas las ventanas de su cámara que daban hacia Jerusalén, se arrodillaba 3 veces al día y oraba y daba gracias delante de su Dios como lo solía hacer antes.
So before this decree, you see Daniel praying in the same position, same time, same place. After it, same position, same place, same time. Nothing changes.
Daniel funcionaba igual antes y después de esta regla.
He didn't let the law, or he didn't let this decree affect the way he prayed.
Daniel no dejó que este decreto que escribieron lo llevara a tomar un cambio en su oración.
Daniel knew that if he had stopped praying or he changed the way he prayed, that he would, how do I say it? That it would look like he would be complying with the new decree, and it would come over him.
Pero él parece que no quiso, y yo lo veo de esta manera, porque él no iba a estar parte o ser parte de esta decreción cuando él sabía que él necesitaba orar.
But now I'm not saying go disobey the authority and just do whatever you want because you're a Christian.
No le estoy diciendo que sea desobediente a las
But
autoridades.
remember that God is number one. He does come first.
Pero Dios siempre viene primero.
And no man can separate us from the love of God.
Y que ningún hombre nos separe del amor de Dios.
We all have 3 different choices
Nosotros tenemos 3 decisiones
for our standards of right and what's right and wrong.
en saber qué es lo bueno y malo.
And it's our job to choose which one we're going to pick.
Y nosotros decidimos qué es decidir y escoger.
We have our internal choice,
Tenemos una decisión interna,
which is kind of like what I believe,
como por ejemplo lo que yo creo,
or what I choose to believe is the truth. And number 2 is the external choice,
número 2 es la decisión externa,
which is kind of like what everybody else believes is true.
que significa lo que todos los demás creen.
And then you have your number 3 is the eternal choice,
Y número 3 es su decisión eterna,
which is the choice that I recommend everybody choose, which is God. I mean, choosing God.
y yo le estoy recomendando de que escogen el número 3, pero que sea su decisión Dios,
Because God is truth. He's absolute. He's universal. He's unchanging. He's everything.
porque Dios es universal, es eterno.
And His choice is better than what we may think or what everybody else thinks.
La decisión de Dios es mejor de de la nuestra o de alguien más.
So whenever we go with his choice, we can never go wrong.
Y nosotros no podemos quedar mal si vamos con la decisión de Dios.
So let's look at what Daniel he didn't do.
Vamos a ver qué es lo que no hizo Daniel.
I think many Christians nowadays would kind of compromise and be like, oh well, we have to pray in secret, or we have to hide our prayers.
Muchos de nosotros parece que a veces nos avergonzamos y no queremos orar en frente de tales personas.
But he didn't do that. Daniel didn't do that.
Pero él no hizo eso, no se escondió.
He made sure everyone saw what he was doing,
Él estaba asegurándose que todos lo vieran.
because he wasn't ashamed of God.
Porque él no era avergonzoso de las cosas de Dios.
He didn't change the way he prayed according to someone else's opinion.
Él no cambió su oración acorde de la opinión de alguien más.
Do right and leave the consequences up to God.
Hacerlo bien y deja que Dios se encargue de las consecuencias.
Because God's got you.
Porque Dios lo tiene a usted en sus manos.
But I'm not talking about like being obnoxious or being unkind, because sometimes people kind of seem to mess it up.
Yo no estoy diciendo que sea malo o desordenado en las cosas.
You see, Daniel, he didn't compromise, but he didn't retaliate either.
Él no se quedó en lo que era la ley, pero no caminó para atrás, sino siguió adelante.
He didn't make it like where it was God versus man, you know?
No lo hizo que esto se va a tratar de Dios peleando a estas personas.
When he got taken away from his house for praying, he didn't fight it. He willingly went.
Cuando llegaron a arrestarlo porque quebró la ley, él no peleó, él se fue con ellos.
And nowadays we have a lot of people that they call themselves Christians, but they reflect the worldly things.
Hay muchos que se llaman cristianos y todavía reflectan lo del mundo.
I think that's why a lot of the times people, when they hear the word Christian, they might think negative thoughts because of these, Christians saying they are Christians, but they're doing other things.
Por eso muchas veces cuando dice uno que es un cristiano, la gente piensa en esto porque hay unos que dicen que son cristianos y no están viviendo como cristianos.
Okay, so the last one is number 3, the focus of faith.
La última es la fe y el enfoque.
We all struggle with fear at one point in our lives.
A un punto nosotros todos pasamos por un temor.
We all become discouraged or frustrated at one point. It's just happened because we're human.
Porque somos humanos, a veces estamos frustrados y pasamos tal cosa.
But there was something different about Daniel.
Pero había algo diferente en Daniel.
At that point right there, he had faith.
A este punto nosotros podemos ver que Daniel tenía fe.
What was his secret?
¿Qué era el secreto?
Daniel's courage wasn't natural; it was supernatural.
Lo que él tenía, o Daniel, no era natural, era sobrenatural.
Because he knew what the consequences were if you prayed, but he still did it willingly.
Él sabía que había consecuencias si lo agarraban orando, pero él todavía siguió orando.
And when they took him away, he went willingly. He didn't retaliate.
Cuando lo agarraron orando, él no peleó, se lo llevaron, no dijo nada.
Sometimes whenever people come at us, we just gotta trust in God, and He'll take care of it.
A veces algunas personas vienen con unas palabras o una actitud, pero nosotros lo dejamos todo a las manos de Dios.
And you're like, he had all this faith, but like, what really is faith?
Él tenía toda esta fe, pero quiero hacer una pregunta: ¿qué es fe?
Courage is always produced by faith. So when you have faith, you have courage.
Cuando tienes fe, tienes esperanza.
And faith is God confidence.
Y la fe es la confianza en Dios.
It's confidence in God.
Es la confianza en Dios.
In verse 10 it says, he got down on his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God. Even when all these things were happening, he still gave thanks.
En el versículo 10 dice que él siempre se arrodillaba y oraba y le daba gracias a Dios.
He had faith in God because he had a personal relationship with God. He knew who he was.
Él tenía fe porque tenía una relación profunda con Dios, personal.
Just as God wants to have a personal relationship with us as well.
Así como Dios quiere lo mismo con nosotros.
Daniel had confidence from above and gave thanks before his God.
La confianza en Daniel era bastante para darle gracias en cualquier cosa en su vida.
Remember, and without faith it is impossible to please him, to please God.
Sí, sin fe es imposible agradar a Dios.
He had faith in God for a good reason.
Él tenía fe por una razón,
God has never lost.
porque Dios nunca he perdido.
He remains undefeated, so how can we lose if he's never lost and he's with us?
¿Cómo puede usted perder si Dios nunca ha perdido?
And you're like, well, this faith sounds pretty good. You know, how can I increase my faith? How can I get faith?
¿Cómo puedo yo tomar más fe y crecer en esta fe?
Number one is your personal experience with God.
Es una experiencia personal con Dios, número uno.
A lot of people have borrowed faith.
Mucha gente parece que tiene una fe que es prestada.
There's like, God is your dad's God, or God is the pastor's God, or God is this person's God. But you got to understand, he's your God as well.
A veces dices, no, él es el Dios de mi padre o el Dios de esta persona. No, Él es tu Dios también.
You need to recognize that you need to have that relationship with him one-on-one.
Necesitas reconocer que necesitas esa relación profunda con Él uno a uno.
And that's what happened with Daniel. He had that strong relationship one-on-one with him.
Es lo que tenía Daniel, que tenía una relación profunda con Dios.
And number two is the size of your God.
Y número dos es el tamaño de tu Dios.
Also, there is a relationship between the strength of your faith and the size of God.
Hay una relación entre tu fe y what was it last one?
The size of God.
Y el tamaño de Dios.
You know, we all know that God is, you know, big and powerful. But the way you show your how do I explain this? Like, if you're showing you have little faith, how does that show that God is? Like, how does that,
Yes,
you know?
yes. A veces enseñamos que Dios es pequeño. ¿Cómo vas a enseñar tú que Dios es grande?
It kind of shows that your view of God is small, you know?
Y no puedes enseñar que tu Dios es pequeño.
Faith places the glory, the power, the presence of God on display for everyone to see.
La fe tiene la gloria, el honor y todo aquello para que la gente se dé cuenta de la gloria de Dios.
So how is everybody else supposed to see how your God is so mighty and powerful if you don't even see it?
¿Cómo
Your
puede
faith is small.
cómo puede la gente ver todo esto de Dios si tú no lo puedes ver?
See, when you don't have enough faith, it's kind of like you're saying that God is small and that people are big, you know?
Es como diciendo Dios es pequeño y la gente es más grande.
But on the other hand, when you have the real faith, when you have faith, then that's what makes, you know, it shows that God is who he is and that people are just people, you know?
Pero cuando tienes ese tipo de fe, tú puedes ver que Dios es grande, pero ves las personas diferentes.
You know, even Jesus says that as long as you have faith as the size of a mustard seed, as small as a mustard seed, that's where it all starts, and you just keep building it up.
Mientras que tengas la fe al tamaño de una semilla de mostaza, ahí se empieza y va creciendo.
Okay, I'm almost done, okay? So don't fall asleep.
Ya mero termino, no se duerman.
Number 3 is the eye of your faith.
Número 3 es el ojo de su fe.
You remember the story of when Jesus was walking on the water, right? And then who got out from the boat to go walk to him? Peter, right?
¿Se acuerdan la historia cuando Pedro salió de la barca?
And you know, he started walking on water because he had his eyes on Jesus. But what happened when he took his eyes off of Jesus?
¿Qué es lo que pasó cuando cuando él quitó su vista del Señor Jesucristo?
He started drowning, right?
Se empezó a hundir.
And that's what happens, you know, when we're not focused on Jesus. You know, we start looking at other things around us, everything that's happening around us, and we start losing sight on him.
Es lo que pasa que cuando no hay suficiente fe.
We need to shift our eyes from what threatens to destroy us, and focus on God.
Necesitamos enfocarnos en el Señor, no la destrucción y todo lo que está pasando a un lado.
the way you get the power of faith is in the one who you believe in, which is God.
Nosotros tomamos la fe y el poder de esta fe nomás por medio de un Dios y es Jehová.
You know, focus your faith, focus your crosshairs on Jesus, and that's how you get faith.
Vamos a enfocarnos totalmente en el Señor y ahí vamos a tomar nuestra fe.
Faith is sight even when the power is off, when it's dark.
O sea,
I said faith is sight even when it's dark.
la fe es una luz aún en la oscuridad.
Even when you can't see physically, you can see spiritually. He's there for
Aún
you.
cuando no puedes ver físicamente ni espiritualmente, ¿verdad?
So before I close, I just want to take a look also at the King Darius.
Ahora quiero ver el punto de vista del rey.
So that night that Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, Daniel was there with the lions in the pit, probably full of dirt, while the king was in his palace, in his nice, comfortable bed,
Cuando el rey estaba en su palacio muy confortable, él estaba de esta manera cuando Daniel estaba lo echaron en el foso de los leones.
The funny thing is that when we compare the two men that night, one was actually in peace while the other one was suffering.
Mire la diferencia entre estos dos varones, uno estaba en paz y el otro estaba sufriendo.
And it's not what you think it was. It was the king was actually the one suffering.
Pero no era así, era al revés.
He cried out in a tone of anguish.
En angustia llora de una voz alta.
It said that he couldn't eat and he couldn't sleep.
No podía dormir el hombre.
He was miserable.
Era un miserable.
But meanwhile, while Daniel's in that den, and the king's probably thinking like, "Oh, he's dead," Daniel's in there with the angels and the lions.
Y mientras él estaba o era miserable en su ser, Daniel estaba en el foso de los leones, pero con los ángeles.
I bet you he was probably playing with them too.
Me puedo dar, a lo mejor estaba jugando con ellos.
When you are working against God, you will not sleep even when you're in the most comfortable bed.
Cuando tú no estás en paz con Dios, no puedes ni dormir, aunque su cama sea la mejor cama.
The king had everything in his disposal for comfort and rest, where Daniel only had the presence of God, but that's all that was needed.
Pero el rey tenía todo en sus manos, pero Daniel tenía a Dios y los ángeles.
That's my message for today.
Ese fue mi mensaje hoy.
But before I give up the mic, I do want to say something. This story goes to show how people are going to come against you, but as long as we keep our faith in God, nothing can harm us. Nothing at all. And then, like what it say, after they got Daniel out the lion's den, they actually threw the people who plotted against him into the den. And it says that they didn't even touch the ground and the lions already devoured them. It goes to show the power of God and how he protects us. So don't ever be afraid of anything.